Hi, I'm Stu McNeil, and today I'm going to walk you through the setup and use of our drones. There are several demonstrations and activities that we have here at the STEM Center that require the use of drones. For this demonstration, we need one of our iPads with the proper software loaded on it, batteries that fit our drone, as well as a charging station, and the drone itself. You can usually find these in our STEM Center offices in one of our drawers or in the Discovery Lab. Let's take a closer look. Inside the box, you'll find our drone. This one is named Chuck. More about that later. You'll also find an instruction manual, as well as a small bag of extra rotors. We'll also talk about these in just a moment. But first, let's take a look at Chuck. We can see that Chuck is a Tello branded quadcopter drone. These are very wonderful drones capable of flying indoors safely. We can see that it has 4 rotors as well as these guards to protect your fingers. A few basic safety tips and things to keep in mind while flying these drones. Be sure to keep any fingers out of the way of the rotors and be mindful of what your hair is doing that day. I have very short hair, but it is possible for someone with long or unkempt hair to potentially get it caught in these rotors. I would advise you to wear some sort of hat or keep it tied back. Let's take another close look at these rotors. Before we fly any of our drones, be sure to check the rotors for any cuts, abrasions, scrapes, or bends. Any damage to the rotors will cause the drone to fly improperly. That could mean simply wobbling quite a lot in the air or not even making it off of the ground. When you inspect the drone's rotors, you're looking for any sort of bends or cuts. If you find one, you can go into this bag and remove the appropriate rotor, and you'll find a small tool that should help in removing it. You can simply pop the tool's teeth underneath the rotor and pry it off. I'm not going to do that today because these rotors are perfectly fine, but we can also see that the rotors are marked. There are 2 rotors that are perfectly smooth with no markings near the point where they connect to the motors. But there are other rotors right here that have these markings. When you replace the rotors, it's very important to put the correct rotor into the correct spot. These 2 rotors have markings, these do not. Do not get them confused, or else the drone will not fly properly. One last safety thing is to note these guards on the sides of the rotors. These not only protect any fingers or errant body parts that might be getting too close, but they also act as safety stops. Should the drone run into anything with any amount of speed, these will automatically cut off power to the rotors, causing the drone to fall out of the air. Do not worry if this happens. It's perfectly normal, and the drone is capable of withstanding small falls. Another safety tip before operation is to inspect the batteries. When this device is plugged in, fully charged batteries will have green glowing lights right here on the front of the charging station. We don't have it plugged in at the moment. It can be plugged into a wall wart or into a computer with no issues. However, in addition to making sure that our batteries are fully charged, we want to inspect the batteries themselves. As we can see currently, the batteries are slim rectangles. But because these are lithium polymer batteries, there is a chance that they can be overcharged in a hot environment or if they're left on the charger for too long. In the event that this is overcharged, you will notice some abnormalities in the battery. Currently, the battery is smooth and flat, but in the event that it is overcharged and overheating, the battery will swell. You'll notice bulges forming on the printed and other flat side of the battery. As soon as you begin to notice these bulges, as soon as you notice that this battery is swollen, take it out of rotation. It is ready to be retired and not used anymore. Overcharging a swollen lithium polymer battery like this can result in fires. They are very rare, and with enough diligence, you're not going to encounter them, but it is very important to check the batteries before and after every use. With a charged battery in hand, we can take our drone and place the battery in this compartment in the rear. Push it in until you hear and feel a click. Then we'll find this button located right here on the side of the drone between these two rotors. This is on the right side of the drone, by the way. Just give that button a firm press for just a second. We can see it'll blink red, followed by a series of multicolored lights. This is the internal software inside of the drone loading up and turning on. And then, once it begins to rapidly blink yellow, we know we're ready to pair. With the drone ready to pair to our iPad, we can now go to our app. First, we'll need to log into the iPad. For this iPad, which we can find in the STEM Center, the password is 199100. Now we navigate to the Tello app, which is this black app right here. We're greeted with this set of instructions. First, we're going to go down to Connect Tello. Then, we're going to find the Tello's specific Wi-Fi signal. This is where it's important to know the name of your drone. As we can see, we have an address here named Tello Chuck. We will connect to Tello Chuck. In the event that there are multiple drones being used, make sure that you're connecting only to your drone's Wi-Fi signal. Now we can go back to the Tello app, and we can see that we have a video feed directly from Chuck's point of view. From here, we can navigate all of the Tello's functions. To take off, we click this button right here in the upper corner. It'll prompt us and ask us if we want to take off, at which point we can slide this to the side and the drone will take off into the air. From here, we can monitor all of the drone's functions and control it using these virtual joysticks. The drone can go up or down, turn left and right, and move side to side, forward, hello, and backward. As we navigate the room, be sure to make sure that you have ample space to perform this demonstration. To land, simply push this button and tap again, and the drone will land. Important things to monitor while you're using the app are your signal strength, located right here, as well as your projected battery life. These lithium polymer batteries drain very quickly, so it's always important to keep an eye on your battery life. When you're finished flying, simply disconnect from the drone's Wi-Fi by going to your settings and selecting CMP staff. Now that we've seen the drone connect to our iPad and how to fly it, we need to do just a few last checks of our drone. As we can see, the yellow light's blinking. That means it's attempting to pair. Should this yellow light turn red anytime during flight or after, that means that our battery is critically low and needs to be changed. We can turn off the drone simply by removing the battery. You can grab the lip here with a thumb and pry it loose. This will turn off the light. One last thing to note is that even over short flights, the underside of the drone can get very warm. This is perfectly normal and shouldn't reach any temperatures that will burn you, but it can be startling if you're not expecting it. Now that we know more about how to fly repair, and maintain the drone, there's even more things we can do with it. There are ways to make the drone flip through the air, ways to make it take off from different surfaces, including your hand, and we can even program it with the programming language Scratch. These are the topics of future videos, and I hope that you'll take more time to play and learn with our drone.